Previously, Regina had been working on restoring the power to the building while Gale kept an eye out near the entrance to the power room. Only moments later, he would be attacked by a vicious carnivore outside the power room. As soon as Regina heard shots being fired, she went outside to check what was going on, only to find a wide open hole through the fence in front of her, with Gale nowhere in sight. She takes a closer look through the open fence to see that if you step right through it, you'll fall to your death, leading her to wonder if Gale could have fallen through by force. While she wonders this, she is then ambushed by an approaching velociraptor from behind. It leaps towards her, widening its mouth ready to bite her as it lands, and fortunately, she dives out of the way just on time. It bit down hard enough to break through the concrete floorboards, but it immediately follows up by reaching for her legs before she can even get back up. It manages to bite down on her left boot, which is thick enough to give her some protection before it sinks its teeth even further. So she tries kicking the raptor off her before it does so. The velociraptor lets go after Regina lands a hard enough kick to its neck, and she begins sprinting away from it as fast as possible, hoping to reach the gates up ahead before it beats her to it. The prehistoric carnivore runs right after her, screeching loud enough to make anyone fall to the floor, paralyzed with fear. But with her heart beating louder and faster, in a way, it's enough to cause interference with any other sounds, just so she can outrun this creature and live another day. The fear of being eaten alive by something that should have been extinct a very long time ago keeps her from slowing down and keep moving faster and faster up ahead. But at this pace, she can also trip over if her limbs make one faulty move. The fence door is finally at arm's reach, and luckily it's even open, which means she only has to stop, close the door, and lock it, rather than adding that extra step that comes first. The raptor quickly catches up to her, but as soon as it does, she makes it to the other side of the fence and closes the door, locking it right as the velociraptor crashes in the fence door. Its strength pushes her to the floor, bending the metal door which managed to contain the creature from finishing its prey. The locked fence door was capable of holding it back, but it won't hold for too long. So Regina continues running away from it and goes to the control room where Rick is located in. She enters the room and Rick asks her if everything's alright, and where's the captain? She wastes no time explaining what just happened, a prehistoric raptor nearly killing her, and the absence of their captain Gale. As expected, Rick is not convinced that she's telling him the truth and asks, "Really? So someone was dressed up as a dinosaur?" She replies, "It's the truth, take a look at the power room." Rick still refuses to believe her and does not even bother to look her in the eyes to tell if it's a joke or not, but he agrees to observe the state of the power room. And as he proceeds to do so, the door opens behind them and Regina draws her weapon in a flash, and it turns out to be Gale. He managed to escape when the velociraptor attacked him, but he was injured in the process of doing so. He enters the room and asks them if they saw it. He got away from it as it didn't chase him when he rolled down the cliff, and thanks to his grappling hook, he was able to avoid falling off completely. Rick still does not believe what they're telling him, even if it's a superior that's giving him this information. It has to be false. Something else had to have caused every problem going on, and chances are that his comrades have been seeing things. They're seeing what isn't there. Gale tells him that he's got to check the lots, all of them. This has to make him believe. They observe every camera, but there's nothing odd, aside from the fact that they're completely empty from any hostiles, and not a single dinosaur is spotted. Regina notices someone standing at a far distance. They aren't able to get a good picture from the CCTV, but from its appearance, it looks like it could be Dr. Kirk. Gale believes that it has to be Dr. Kirk and says they must go after him right now. He's in a fright lobby. The three of them start heading towards that designated area in hopes of completing their task so they can leave this unnatural place as soon as possible. As they move forward, Gale tells them to stay close and avoid splitting up. It's likely that there must be more dinosaurs nearby, and they can't afford to take any chances on their own. By now, Rick is feeling a bit nervous and says, "You guys, don't try to scare me." And Regina replies, "Just be careful, they move too fast. There's no time to think." This comment does not help his tense feeling. Now he asks, "So what, you're telling me Dr. Kirk has been experimenting on bringing back dinosaurs? Is that what I'm supposed to believe? Because I believe what I see, and so far I'm not seeing any of these things lurking around." Gale tells him to keep his voice down, and as they pass by a corridor, Rick notices that a man is lying there in the shadows. He informs the others that he found a different scientist, but Gale orders him to leave that man alone. He's not Dr. Kirk, so they must continue with their main mission objective. Rick argues that if that man is still alive, then they need some information now more than ever. He has no idea whether these ancient beasts are alive, so they can't just ignore this man. But Gale still refuses to help and tells him, if you want to go help him, go, but know that he's going to slow you down and we're not going to wait for you to keep up. Feeling like it's the right thing to do, Rick leaves the others and goes back to help that man. The scientist appears to be unconscious, and Rick goes ahead and picks him up while telling him, cheer up, I'll take you to the infirmary. But as he does so, the man's body starts to shake uncontrollably, and a group of Compsognaths emerge from within the scientist's torso. Rick drops the body in sheer fright, and the Compies begin leaping towards Rick, surrounding him and attacking him all at once. They're so small, yet so fierce. There's no time to feel regret for his decision to leave the others and help this stranger. So he draws his combat knife and grabs every Compy he can, slicing their heads off one by one. Their numbers start to drop, but the threat is not over, as something now approaches Rick from behind. The Compies weren't the only thing to worry about now, as two velociraptors make their way towards Rick as he eliminates the smaller dinosaurs in front of them. He prepares a run for it, but another raptor emerges from the opposite side and surrounds him. He is in complete shock as he now realizes that not only were they telling him the truth, but his own selfless action cost him his own life. They swiftly close in on him and are suddenly attacked by Rick's comrades. They manage to save him just in time, but it's not over, as more of them start appearing and convinced to chase them down. Even with their combined firepower, there's no telling whether they'd have a chance to eliminate them all, or if they'd be eaten by the time they need to reload. So they retreat and run straight forward towards the fright lobby where they spotted a man that looked like Dr. Kirk. They sprint through a deep hollow passage and are greeted by another carnivorous dinosaur catching them off guard. But luckily the velociraptors attack it on sight and begin devouring it together. This gives them a chance to get a larger distance from them and possibly avoid getting caught by these vicious raptors. To their surprise, they find the man that they were searching for, who in fact turned out to be Dr. Kirk in the flesh. He was running from them at first, but then stops, turns to look at them with a cold smile on his face while holding up an unknown device. And it surprises the hell out of Gale. He wonders how could this man show no signs of fear or shock after what's been attacking everyone on the island. Why did he stop at this dead end? Gale approaches him slowly and says, Dr. Kirk, you've been placed under arrest. Now get us the hell out of this camp and I promise you you'll be leaving in one piece. We can escort you off the island, but you need to follow my instructions. Under arrest? You've seen what I've done with the place, the things I've created, and you want to take me back to your superiors? You must be joking. It is you who had abandoned me at first. Now, my third energy is complete. Observe a sample of its power! The three soldiers are left in complete shock after seeing what would easily violate the laws of physics, and after a dazzling flash of electricity, Dr. Kirk completely disappears and the wall returns to its original state. Regina turns around and notices that their recent problem has just caught up to them, and not only did Dr. Kirk escape from them, but he had also lured the soldiers into a trap. There's no way to go, and their firepower is weak. Will they be slaughtered by this deadly group of velociraptors? Let me know in the comments how you think they might escape from this situation. But for now, that's it for the video. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button to give this video a chance to grow. I'd like to thank all my Patreon supporters for their impeccable generosity. Your support means a lot to me, and you are part of the reason why I try to make the best content that I can. And if you like this content, check out the rest of my channel. You'll find more entertainment from separate franchises I like to cover, such as Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Z, Celebrity Deathmatch, Men in Black, The Mask, Batman comics, The Terminator, TMNT, Dino Crises, Resident Evil, and more. If you're a Patreon supporter, check out my exclusive videos such as the Gantz content. And if you'd like to show your support, go to my Patreon and support the channel, which is only $1. Sacrifice that McChicken for extra quality content, my friend. But anyways, I'll see you on the next video, and remember to have an awesome day.